ready to have some fun? I am hot, actually, and I'm trying to refrain from stripping. But it's all good. Work with me. So, all right, I just want to acknowledge every single person in this room for being here today, and I definitely want to acknowledge Danielle for bringing together the most amazing group of women that I've seen in a long time. And the fact that she chose all her speakers, I know some of them she knew, but many of us she did not know. And last night we had a meet and greet, and the synergy and the connection is just amazing. You guys are in for such a treat. What I want to also talk to you about right now, the left one, right? Okay, is my commitment to you. We've moved mountains to get here, right? We have children we've had to make provisions for. Maybe some of you took off work. Whatever it took for you to get here, you are now here. Welcome. I want to invite you to show up fully. So what I want to do is I want everybody to put down whatever it is that you have in your hands. Open up your body. Uncross legs, please. Really open up, right? Sit up tall. Connect with the earth and with source. And I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. One more time, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And I want to invite you to be here, to be open, to really hear, to really see without judgment of yourself, without judgment of the sister next to you because they're a mirror of you, and no judgment of me. My commitment to you is to create sacred space. So I also want to make the invitation that if something comes up for you, to honor that. If you feel tears coming up, if you feel laughter, if you feel angry during my presentation, you can yell, you can scream, you can dance, you can cry, you can say amen. You've got all permission to fully express everything you feel. Fair enough? Self-identify. This is my favorite part of speaking, is that this is a conversation, not a presentation. Okay? I need you to be involved. I want to know that I'm speaking to your heart, that I'm speaking to your spirit. So if you hear something that you resonate with, I want you to raise a hand, raise two hands, jump up and down on one leg, whatever. If you feel it, acknowledge it. Because your breakdown is how you get to your breakthrough. Calling out what it is that you're feeling and the things that you're identifying with in my story, I'm a mirror of you as well. Okay? I'll get to the meat and potatoes soon. I'm going to share my journey with you, which is an intense journey. And I'm also going to share with you this 6-step wisdom system that I've crafted to get you through transitions, traumas, tragedies, and hardships in your life. I'm going to challenge you to reconnect with who you really are. Not the mask, not the role. We're more than mothers. We're more than CEOs. We're more than friends and girlfriends and wives. We are a person. We are a spirit. We have gifts. We have a purpose. So I want to challenge you to reconnect with that today. I'm going to share tools for integrating all parts of yourself into your life and a career that you love. Because how do you dissect who you are in your life with who you are in your career? It's kind of out of alignment, isn't it? What if you could be who you are in every area of your life all the time? Okay? And then I'm going to invite you to take action towards creating your fresh start. So my unique system was designed for highly conscious entrepreneurs, professionals, leaders, business coaches, moms, you name it. Pretty much anyone who has a spirit that they may not be fully expressing. You want to develop a mindset which allows you to stop struggling to generate income and allows you to create abundance for yourself and your family instead. Easily, and having fun doing it. You're successful by society standards, but you're miserable. You don't feel fulfilled. You have a role, you have a title, people respect you, but inside you're dying. You've recently experienced a defining moment in your life or a transition. So whether it be divorce, whether you got laid off from your job, whether you lost a child, whether you lost any other loved one in your, that you had in your life, There's a transition and a recreation that has to happen, whether it's forced or whether it's something you're choosing. You want to leave a legacy and live a great life now. Not tomorrow, not 5 years from now, not when I retire, but right now, like as soon as we leave this room. It's possible. It's just a choice. And you want to make personal or life or career changes, but you just don't know where to start. And that's why you're here today, because it's your time. So we're going to pick it up from here. That was my story, but let me take you a little bit deeper into my journey. So I met this amazing man. Did I say amazing man? No, I meant an amazing man. You know, ladies, what I'm talking about. When you see somebody and your whole body just lights up and charges up. This man, I looked at him for the very first time while I was working in the UNLV dining commons, and he came in to look for his roommate, and I was like, that is the man I'm going to marry. Now, we all know, because we're all ladies in here, that when we make a decision, it's going down, right? So needless to say, I got the prize, and so did he, but we won't go there. So 20 years of love, we had this beautiful family, 3 children, we were leaders in the community. We had created the life that everybody dreams of. We had the careers, we had the children, we had the beautiful homes, we would travel internationally all the time as a family. People respected us. We thought we had the perfect life. I thought we had the perfect life. But what was going on privately in his spirit, in his soul, was that he was defining himself by all of the external successes. He did not feel enough. He wasn't fully expressing himself as a man, as an artist. There were parts of himself that he was repressing because he was playing a role, and those parts he was repressing didn't quite fit into those roles. Anybody forget about the self-identification? Right? Has anybody in this room ever been so caught up in a role that you're afraid to say certain things or do certain things? Are you walking around in fear that somebody's going to find you out? It's a conversation, not a presentation. Okay? So I was blindsided. I'm going to be honest. I had my entire life, my world, and my identity wrapped up in this man. I will wait. Okay? Because that's what we do. We're women. We're nurturers. Right? We're the life givers. And so that's what I did. I put everything I had. I put my dreams and my career, my singing career, my modeling career, everything on hold for this family. And then that dreadful day came. Oops, wrong one. The dreadful day came, January 6th of 2009, where my husband put on his suit and tie, grabbed his briefcase, kissed me and my children goodbye, and walked out the door knowing that he was never coming home again. He went missing for 24 hours, calling, texting, going to the office, not knowing what was going on, but as women, we know when something's not right. And so I was just waiting and waiting and waiting. The culture in our house was perfectionism. Okay? Never let him see you sweat. So I actually went to our financial office that night after he had been missing for 24 hours. Meeting, greeting, being the leader, motivating people, teaching the class from the front of the room. And inside I was dying. I was scared. I didn't know what was happening to my husband, but I knew he was no longer breathing. And I came home to a card on my door from the coroner. That's never good. Aside from finding out that very next day that my husband had committed suicide, I also found out I was pregnant with my 4th child. So a little piece I left out is that technically I was a stay-at-home mom. My job was my children. My job was my family. And I supported him in this financial business. So in that moment, right away, I had to make a decision. What now? What now? So the obvious choice was to take over the financial business, right? Even though in my soul, I knew that it wasn't right for me. How many times have you all been in that position to make a choice that you knew wasn't right for you? that you knew would kill your soul, and you did it anyway. I put my pain, my emotions, my grief, everything on hold for over a year and took over this business that I had zero passion for, despite my fear, feelings of displacement. Because let me tell you, when somebody commits suicide, that's the ultimate abandonment. So if you had abandonment issues, self-identify, worthiness issues, any of that, it just all comes bubbling back up. So every issue, molestation, rape, being raised by a young single mom, just all of the different things I had experienced in my life, all of the pain, not having my father in my life, not feeling worthy of his love unless I did something, came bubbling up to the surface. You know what got me through? Love. Love. Love of myself and love of this man. The only thing I could logically figure out was that for him to do something like this, he had to be in an incredible amount of pain. So I made it my mission to try to understand, right? Because I love myself too much to kill myself. So I thought, right? So I threw myself into work I didn't love. 1 minute, motivating, inspiring, smiling. And the next minute, curled up under the porcelain toilet in the bathroom of our office, like heaving, dry heaving. Has anybody here ever been so hurt? You get me. It's no joke. You feel like you're dying, and the tears are just flowing. And imagine having to pretty it up and go back on stage and show up for everyone else. I put everyone else in my life, my kids, my family, the team. Heaven forbid that I don't live up to my husband's legacy. Heaven forbid that I let our teammates down, even though I'm the one that's pregnant, even though I'm the one that now has to figure out how to feed these 4 kids. But we do it every day. We devalue ourselves. We choose you instead of choosing yourself. Is that right? Sorry, I didn't mean to take it to church this morning. Yeah, I did. I became a slave to everybody else's experiences, feelings, and not honoring my own self. Why? Because deep down inside, I didn't feel worthy. I downward spiraled into a depression. I didn't even recognize it as a depression. Just like my husband, I didn't recognize his as a depression. Why? Because he was functioning. He went to work 12 to 15 hours a day. He loved what he did. He was a mentor. He was a leader. He was a great father. He was a great husband. We always had fun. I'm like, where the hell did this come from? I was completely blindsided. And then I found myself walking in his size 13 shoes. Because I didn't physically commit suicide, but I was drinking every night. Mind you, I was pregnant. I was not sleeping. I threw myself into the work that I knew I didn't love, but I also had a part of me that was longing to do something that I loved, longing for something for me. So I would spend 12 to 14 hours at the financial office, and then I would go home, take care of the kids, put them to bed, and I would go and do performing, singing, entertaining at night, stay up till 2, 3 in the morning, and then start doing it all over again. So drinking, not resting, sleeping with every man I could get my hands on. So promiscuity, right? Trying to fill that void, trying to push down the pain because I didn't have time to deal with it. Self-identified? We don't have time to deal with it, right? What I was doing was committing mental, emotional, spiritual. Oh, and did I mention financial suicide? I was in the financial business. You are not supposed to get paid out for suicide. I got paid out almost $1 million and blew through $500,000 in 2 years. Why? Because I was hurting. It's not like I was buying cute clothes and cute shoes. I do have a lot of cute shoes, but that's not what I did with it. I started my nonprofit. I started pouring money into my business. So everything I did again was for everybody else. I could have taken some of that money and gotten some therapy, right? But no, it was all about everyone else. So again, I didn't commit physical suicide, but I committed emotional, mental, spiritual, and financial. Until again, August 2009, In August 2009, I was forced to surrender. I was basically knocked on my ass, and I just couldn't do it anymore. I was tired of being tired, of being tired, of being tired, of being tired. And I had to surrender and say, what does Patrina really want? Who is Patrina? What is this life that I want to create for myself and that cute little boy who drives me crazy? He's 5 now. So the good news, now we'll bring it back up, is that it's never too late for a fresh start. And I was ready to awaken my life. I was ready to stop living in auto drive and actually get behind the seat of my life, be the star of my life again, and to throw everything, all the feelings, all the judgment, all the guilt, all the shame, all the blame, all the regret, all the questions. Why? Guess what? If you're caught up in a cycle of asking why, you're keeping yourself stuck because you're never going to have the answer. The question isn't why, it's how. How can I move through this? Who do I want to be? Who do I need to connect with in order to make this vision for myself happen? So being in this room, making the choice to be here today, is probably the best thing you could have ever done. Not because of us, the speakers, but because of the people you're sitting next to. These are your sisters. These are the people that are going to be there for you, that you can build community with and create anything that you choose to create. I get a little passionate. I don't know how my time's going. Okay, so stuckness. You hear the term stuck thrown around a lot. So I thought I would give you a little bit of a definition, right, and the different kinds of stuckness that there are. There's what I talked about, the feelings of abandonment, not enough. There's victimization, being stuck in that victim mentality, right? Like everything's happening to me. And I would do this if only, and I would do that if only, right? So victimhood, blame, shame, guilt, regret, thoughts of limitation based on a story. Well, I'm a single widowed mom with 4 kids. What am I going to do? I can't be an entrepreneur. I don't have time. I'm a single widowed mother of 4 entrepreneur who dates regularly, travels, has fun. It can happen, but you have to choose it, and you have to live your life by design. Wishful thinking or wanting everything at once. That's like the people who are always scratching the lottery tickets. I just want a windfall of money and everything would be okay. Not so. I have it and it goes fast. Procrastination, perfectionism, over-serving. I am a recovering perfectionist, self-professed. Anybody else? It's a trap. It's never going to be perfect and you're never going to be ready. Just jump. Jump. Do it. Learn along the way and be willing and courageous enough to not be perfect. It really does work out to your good every time. Fear of success, fear of failure. Okay, we can't go back. But you probably saw them all there. There's a lot of different things that keep us stuck. All right? And the main thing, if I really simplify it, is that we're not making choices in every moment, with every decision, with every feeling, with the boundaries that we set with the people around us and who we choose to spend our time with. That is what is shaping your reality. So if you're a person who's living in a cycle, like for some reason you keep attracting the same man, you keep having the same experiences, right? Or woman, keep attracting the same woman, right? I'm inclusive. So if you're attracting the same type of relationships, the same type of situations, the same type of heartbreak, it's because you're making that same choice. And it's time to try a little something different. So are you driving or being driven? So here's my 6-step system. I just want to go through this pretty quickly because this is the foundation of my work. So what I basically did was I started out my personal development journey at like 11 when I picked up You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. And I became like a personal development addict. So for my entire life, I was very strong. I stood in my power. I always exercised all of myself. I was very creative. I met my husband at 15 years old. We were together for over 20 years. So I had this like safe container. It was like I lived inside of a bubble. And people used to always be like, oh, you don't live in the real world, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, if that's the real world, I don't want no parts. But when my husband passed, the bubble was popped. And then it took me 5 years, probably less, but really about 5 years to refine my ground, to get back to who I really was, and to start expressing myself fully. So the process looks like this, and this is the process that I take all my clients through. It's really getting clear on who you are. And for most of us, who we really are, we have to go back to like 5 years old to really get clear on who we are, because we don't change. We make different decisions, but we don't change. Okay, so the things you loved at 5 are probably the things you're still super passionate about now. I go through step 2, which is identify. That's identifying the stories, the disempowering chatter that's going on in your head, the habits that you have that are keeping you in the exact same spot, right? Keep the choices that you're making that are keeping you in the loop. Sacred self-care, putting yourself back into your life. I like to describe this as treating yourself like a religion. Because everybody talks about God like it's somewhere out here. And I don't want to offend anyone. I'm inclusive. I'm all for everything. But my belief is that God lives in here. I was made in His image. I am the temple. I take care of my temple in the way that I would want for my source. So sacred self-care is even things as simple as getting the right rest, sleeping, like really taking care of you. Simple to the extent of boundaries and all of that, and creating the life that you really want. So that is actually a whole retreat. That's how deep into sacred self-care I go. I do a 3-day retreat out in San Diego where that's it. We just create this amazing space for you to come and just be. Okay? Declare. Declare is the step where we really get clear on your vision for your life. And funny enough, unlike some coaching where you start with what, like maybe the business or something like that, I start with the big vision of like your perfect day. And then we back engineer into what has to be done daily, weekly, monthly, and annually to make that life happen. So for me, I don't like to work. I don't get no shame around it. My job is to play and be happy and have like a super orgasmic life. Anybody like that idea? So like seriously, I work like 3 or 4 hours a day. Lakitria, boss lady over here, we're very good friends. She knows. I play most of the time. And through my play, I attract the right clients. I attract the right people into my life. I attract the Danielles that are like, you need to come speak at my conference. What if you could do that? What if you could just be a magnet to everything awesome? Right? You can. And then organizing, which is putting it into a strategy, and then moving, taking action. Because we can sit in workshops, we can read books, we can sit with our mentors all day long. If we don't get out there and actually do something, nothing's going to change. So are you ready to awaken your life? Yes. Awesome. Because life isn't about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself. So if you're feeling stuck, you want some support in that, you want to create your fresh start, you want to move past your fears, your limitations, the habits that you're exhibiting that are keeping you exactly where you want to be, then I'd love to have a conversation with you. Before I start my closing, I want to call up Melissa. She's one of actually my clients, and just recently she became my assistant. And so I always have her slide in my presentations. I figured this time, since she's here, I just want to have her say a couple words about our coaching together. Okay? Is that on? Okay, perfect.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can we all just say, awaken your inner power?
Woo!
Yeah. That is actually what this beautiful soul has done for me. I met Patrina a year ago after I was laid off from my job. And looking back, as soon as I was laid off from my job, it was a little bit of a relief because I was not in a job no longer, that I was burnt out, working 60 hours a week, just not having a social life. I was burnt out. I was drained. because I put everything into my job. But then when I looked forward, I was like, what do I do? You know, how do I do that? I had all these blocks, these walls that were up, and it was just a lot of stuff from my past that started to come into my head that, you know, messed with my insecurity, that messed with my self-esteem. So it's like it fed into my insecurity, it fed into my low self-esteem, my confidence was wrecked. So when I went through Patrina's program last year, oh my God, she helped me to start to break down those walls and really just start to open up and see that, hey, wait a minute, there is a person in there. Because there was also a lot of stuff I absorbed, everybody else's opinions. So whatever, if they didn't like it, then I didn't like it. If they liked it, I liked it. If they did it, okay, yeah, let's do that. There was nothing, there was no Melissa. So when I lost my job, I was like, what do I do? Where do I go? You know, and it was corporate work. So now it's like I'm still going through her program, even though her actual program is over. I'm still going through it with her homework and her CD, because it's a process. And now she's like helping me build my health and wellness empire today. So again, can we just say awaken your inner power?
Awaken your inner power.
So thank you so much.
She's amazing. So one thing she didn't mention, which I kind of wanted her to say, and hopefully I have permission to share.
Sure.
Yes?
Go ahead.
Okay. She was actually extremely shy. So if we could just honor her for standing up here. I did not tell her until like last night that she was going to speak on purpose. Have a tendency to do that. But she was socially awkward, right? Socially awkward. What is that body thing that you...
Social anxiety,
Anxiety?
body dysmorphic disorder.
Body dysmorphic
There's a couple
disorder.
things on my body.
Yeah. Anyways, the bottom line is that she had a bunch of stuff beyond just emotional stuckness that was going on. And just by reconnecting with herself, building that confidence, like this is amazing that she stood here, so I'm super proud of her. So with that, I know my time has to be very close to being finished, but for me, it's a disservice not to come up here basically and inspire you, motivate you, give you this shining example of what your life could be, and then not show you how to do it. So what I want to do now is tell you a few ways that if this resonates with you, if you have some voice inside of you that's saying, yes, she's the one for me, because you've got lots of choices today. Lots of choices, and they're all going to be fantastic. But if you know in your spirit that I'm the one you want to work with, I'm going to show you how. So I have 3 different ways for us to play together today. And these offers are only for today. I just want to let you know that. So this package is Awakening Life, a suicide survivor's guide to turning suffering to life success. Okay? And what I put together just for this conference, as a matter of fact, is a 12-week live program. 10 of the calls are going to be content calls where we go through my system in detail, and then you're also going to have an opportunity to tell me what your needs are. So I will custom craft probably about 3 or 4 calls to your specific needs. We're going to have 2 calls that are live, Q&A, and hot seat coaching. So you won't be doing one-on-one coaching with me for 12 weeks. It'll be a group. We'll create community, but you'll have the moment, the opportunity to actually be in the hot seat and be coached. We're also going to have 2 success stories / expert interviews. So somehow, even though I'm a life coach, I always end up coaching on a little business. Again, it's because they're intermingled. What the success stories are is if you have a concern with like, okay, now that I have a clearer vision of what I want to do, how do I get started? I'll bring in Boss Lady to do a class on how to transition from your corporate job into entrepreneurship. Or a marketing person, right? Or I'll bring in Miss Celia to do some soulful business training for you. Okay, so it's a very collective thing. I'm the star of my life, but I don't have to be the star of all my programs. I like to share. You're also going to receive as a bonus the hard copy self-study program. So I have a mock-up back there if you want to take a look at it. And so you'll not only be in the program live creating it in the moment, but you'll also have it with you to go through over and over again throughout your life. You're going to get a private Facebook community, breakthrough coaching access, which means you can email me, text me, or call me anytime if you're just stuck. If you have some emotion come up and you just want me to support you, that's what I'm here for. I only take on 5 one-on-one clients per year because I show up 150,000%. We are in this together, we're partners, and that's just how it is. So that's what that is there. You'll get discounted admission to my Sacred Self-Care Retreat, which I do 2 right now per year in San Diego, but I'll be adding 2 more abroad in 2015. Let's play together. And then I'm going to also, for the first 5 people who say yes to this package, I'm going to give you a 60-minute, 1-hour coaching session for free. Okay? So your investment for this program is, well, the value of it is $9,997. Your investment, if you pay in full, is $4,997, or I have a 6-pay, where you can put a deposit of $997 and pay 6 payments of $697. So I try to make sure that I create my programs in a way that anyone can say yes if it's what they choose. All right, so this is the Diamond Creme de la Creme program. You also have the option to just get the hard copy self-study program, and that is $997. And so Melissa's going to be back there to answer questions, by the way. And then lastly, if you're like, I know I need to do something, I'm not really quite sure where to start, or I just don't quite feel ready to jump full in, then we can do a one-on-one coaching session for $197, where we sit for 60 minutes and really you get coached on whatever your stuckness is right now. And then we can talk about options for how you want to move forward if we decide we want to play together continuously. So this is my invitation, and 10% of the proceeds for all of the work that I do in my for-profit business gets donated to my nonprofit, which is Hands of Comfort Foundation. And that is an organization that supports people in their, mental distress. So it's before the point, right before the point of suicide, basically, when people are feeling alone, like they have no place to go. So we do support groups. We have a 24-hour comfort line that people can just call in and talk to. Because it's been proven that people just want to be seen, and they want to be heard, and they want to be acknowledged, right? So me as one person, I can't do that with everyone. It comes with a price. But in my nonprofit, I have staff available to help people with those things. So with that, if you have any questions, you can come back and see us at the booth. I'll be back there. Melissa will be back there to answer your questions. And what I want to offer to everybody, because in my mind, again, it's a disservice not to give you some steps, some action steps, to not start the work with you. And so everybody's going to get a free download of my Awakening Life audio CD. And what that has in it, it's 60 minutes, and it's talking about awakening self-esteem, awakening true self, and awakening creativity. But it's not just something you listen to. This is actual exercises. Some people use this as a meditation. I've had clients who do yoga to it. There's actually work. So it's like really a great way to get your process started. It's a download. So what I need for you to do on this form, no matter which package you're deciding on, is check the box, fill this out completely. Obviously, if you're just doing the free gift, you don't have to put any card information. And I'm just going to have you take this back to the table. Melissa's going to take this from you, and we also have a table raffle. So even if you're just taking the gift, fill it out, turning in, and you're going to be put into a raffle for a free breakthrough session. Okay? So if there's any other way I can serve you, let me know. But I have been, meditating on this and really trying to tap into how I can serve you at wherever you're at. Okay? So with that, who am I now? I am Patrina Wisdom, the Fresh Start Specialist. I like to have fun and I like to play with you. All right.